You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial theme parks podcast, and this is show number 283 for Sunday, the 27th of October, 2019.
Where dreams begin.
Well, hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. Now, I've got with me a very dear friend this week who I haven't had on the show for an absolute eon. So we were chatting the other day and thought, let's keep it spooky, let's keep it creepy, and let's talk Halloween with James H. Carter II. Hello, James.
Wow, thanks for that introduction. I loved it. And
It's been too long, my friend.
it has. It's been very long, but I'm glad to be back on the show and to talk about our today's topic. Very excited.
Well, when you're talking about anything at all, in my book, to do with Halloween, there is the one person that you have to go and speak to, and that is, in the nicest way, Mr. Creepy. And that's you, James.
Thank you very much. No, I'm honored, and I took that in the very nicest way. So don't worry.
Because before we get on to our main topic, you and your partner just seem to be at a different Halloween type themed thing every night, whether it's a movie, a DVD you're watching, a scare zone, a theme park. Isn't this exhausting?
Yes, it is. Myself and Shannon, we're based here in Southern California, and there's a lot of Halloween and movie stuff and haunts and all that stuff, and we just can't say no. We get invited to cover stuff, and we just keep going. And we've had some incredible experiences that, even though we're tired and exhausted, I mean, just really incredible. The first thing that comes to mind is just quite an accomplishment. Just to see how far we've gone in our 5-6 years of doing this stuff, is that we got to go to the world premiere of Maleficent: Mistress of Evil. And that was an incredible experience. Got to have an encounter with Angelina Jolie, which, I mean, money can't even buy that,
I saw the picture and I was like, oh my God. I've eaten pizza with Shannon, who has literally stood next to Angelina Jolie. It's by association. I have now kind of met Angelina Jolie and stalked her even.
Yeah, no, I'll take it. Yeah. So, they're not all, meeting Angelina Jolie, but that's why you work through the tiredness, because you get to have incredible experiences like that. And I'm honored to be able to share them with, with our followers and podcast listeners as well. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, I just want to say thank you for keeping all us haunt fans amused and entertained. And particularly, I'm going to give a big shout out for the Foolish Mortals documentary. James, it's just getting much press.
Yeah, it came out 2 years ago, and it keeps getting more infamous. I was like, it's a documentary that I directed about Haunted Mansion fans, and we were very honored that they wanted to include myself and a few of the participants on the Freeform Network's Fan Fest, where all these tributes to different things from Halloween, from Haunted Mansion to Ghostbusters, and I don't know, whatever else was on there, random stuff. But I was really honored personally to be interviewed for it, and they interviewed a whole bunch of people in our film. And it is, I'm at a loss for words sometimes when I think about this little fun idea. And you were there at the very beginning. You were one of the first people I talked to about it, when we were making it, and it just keeps growing. So it's very, very cool.
Yeah, very, very honoured to have been part of the little egg that grew into the ginormous dinosaur that it has. What do you think to the guy who built out his cellar, his basement, into a replica ride?
Yeah, I mean that's the dream, right? I mean, that's so cool.
I wonder if he's single.
I don't know, but I think you're a married woman.
Yeah, darn it. Small things like that get in the way.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking about the Haunted Mansion. I'm sure I can find an axe somewhere.
Uh-oh. Channeling your inner Constance.
Let's move on before I get myself involved with a divorce lawyer. And we are going to talk a little bit about one of the major things that I'm so envious about that you're getting to go and visit and experience, because you have done this bi-coastally, but we're going to focus on the Southern California element, and that's the Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, out here in Hollywood. Yes, for sure. So have you ever done any Horror Nights in Orlando?
No. Shall I tell you a big secret? There's nobody listening. No one will know.
Please do. No, it's just me and you.
You remember watching Jaws as a kid? And that iconic...
Yes.
Well, I got so scared by that film. I must have only been 6 at the time, that I daredn't go to the toilet for weeks because I literally believed a shark was going to come out of the toilet and kill me.
Wow, that must have been really challenging.
Yeah, I am the world's biggest wuss. I seriously, haunted houses and all that sort of stuff, even walking past them sends a shiver down my spine. But I have this adage in my life that you try something once, and if you don't like it, you don't do it again. And, you know, I once tried sweet corn and I realised I liked it. However, I also tried abseiling and realised going on a week's abseiling course was probably not a good idea, so I cancelled it.
You cancelled it before you did it?
Yeah, I get dizzy standing on a stool, and you know how many times I've broken my arm, James.
Oh, yes.
So, anyway, we'll rewind. I've never done it, even when I've visited Universal Parks over in Orlando. Never been. I normally like my Halloween a little bit not so scary, if you know what I mean. But over here in the UK, more and more of us Brits are getting really into the Halloween fever. You know, more adults are getting involved with it. It's not just for the kids. There's even scare places and haunts starting up over here. And I do know that more and more Brits, when they're coming over to go and visit Disneyland, they are making their way down to Hollywood to go to Universal Studios, and they're starting to go and visit the Halloween Horror Nights there. So I thought, well, how great, we can talk to you about it, find out more about it, and entice more visitors for 2020.
Well, let's do it. Yes. I mean, the first thing that really comes to mind for Disney fans that, you know, obviously I love Disneyland at Halloween time. I love it. Well, Disney World too, but I really love it at Disneyland. I think they do a lot more in the spookifying of the park, both parks at this point. And you know, I love that. But sometimes, you know, you want to take it a step further. You want something a little bit more over the top, and also you want to be able to walk into your favorite horror movies. You know, or maybe you don't, I don't know, but I did. And so that's what's so great about Halloween Horror Nights is, you know, they recreate, you know, the locations and the environments from these movies that we love. And it's so cool to be able to walk through those areas. And that's what I love about Haunt. I don't really get scared by the actors because I go so much that I guess we've become desensitized and I can kind of anticipate when it's going to happen. But, you know, I say, you know, it's worth trying, and, you know, definitely go a year when there's a movie that you love. When they do movies that are new, they do movies that are old. If there's a movie that you love and you've always wanted to walk into it at a Disney theme park level of quality, then that's what's great about Halloween Horror Nights, because that's actually how I got into it. I didn't even start doing haunts until 2014, but they had a movie there that I loved, From Dusk Till Dawn, and I was like, I got to experience walking through From Dusk Till Dawn, and I went, and it was incredible, and I've never turned back.
Okay, so help me with this one. I love Stranger Things. I am totally addicted to watching it on Netflix at the moment, okay? That is one thing that would draw me in. So what sort of scale is this recreated on? Because I'm just imagining when it says it's a house, that it's basically a 2-up, 2-down terrace house that you wander around with a few things dangling from the ceiling. So can you try and get me into your head so I can envisage what this is about, the size, the scale?
Sure. So when they say house, it's kind of It's not literally a house. They kind of either say house or maze, and it's not literally a maze either because you don't have to like figure your way out. It's just a path that you walk through. And with Stranger Things in particular, this year they recreate some of the iconic scenes from season 2 and a little bit of season 3. You get to walk through the Myers house. You get to walk through the laboratory and all that kind of thing. A lot of encounters with Demogorgons. Those are the things that are jumping out trying to scare you. In season 2, you might recall when Will was drawing, he had the thing in his head. It was the Mind Slayer, and he kept drawing it, and they were piecing it all around the house with little crayons and all that. That's recreated in this year too. So it's kind of fun to be able to walk through that as well. And I'd say Stranger Things is bringing a lot of people to horror nights that wouldn't normally go because, again, everybody loves the show and they love being immersed in it, and to be able to walk through those environments is worth people facing their fears, I guess.
I've got the website in front of me so I can see an image. Okay, I've got 11 at the front with hands out in front of her, little bit of blood coming down her nose, so I know that she's doing something. And then there's all these creatures around. Is that actually what it is like?
Yeah. I mean, I guess to give a little bit of spoiler, you're not gonna be able to go because you're not gonna make it out here in time. But in the Hollywood version, the portrayal of the kids are actually mannequins. So, but in the Orlando version, they actually have actors playing the kids. So, but they're pretty much doing the same thing, which is recreating scenes from the show.
So it's various scenes from the show. You're walking around, as you say, like a pathway. I hate that word maze because it makes me think of the maze over in Alice in Wonderland over in Disneyland Paris, and it's like, oh, that's all now nice and cutesy, and this isn't nice and cutesy.
Not quite.
So, okay, I'm getting into the idea of that I would really, really enjoy to wander around that. Now, I know there's a whole plethora of different things that they've got on offer this year. Another one that attracts me, and only because I'm now a really big major nerd and I know somebody who worked on it, our mutual friend Terry Harden, who, did some puppeteering for Ghostbusters. So what's that one like?
Yeah, Ghostbusters is kind of a strange one because it's not really scary because Ghostbusters has a few sort of scary scenes, but this is just literally walking through the movie. And it's something that people never thought they'd have the opportunity to do. You start off, you walk in the firehouse, Janine's there on the phone yelling at you. And then as you go through, you have all these encounters with Slimer and all these scenes recreated, the hotel when they first catch Slimer. And at the end of the maze, an encounter with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as they're trying to blast him. So much fun.
Oh, if I wasn't a school teacher, I would be on a plane now because that sounds amazing. Please tell me I get drowned in Stay Puft Marshmallow Man goo.
No, it doesn't. They don't go that extreme.
Next year, Universal, make it happen.
Yeah, up the ante on that one. A cool thing Hollywood had that I don't believe Orlando did was Rick Moranis' character, the accountant, Louis Tully. He's hanging outside of the maze. And if you tell him a secret word, which they post on Twitter every day, he'll hand you a business card. So I actually got one of his business cards, Certified Public Accountant, Louis Tully.
How cool that they're engaging people via social media as well. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Actually, I have the card in my hand right now, and there's a number on here. I guess I should call it. I never thought to.
Let me know if he answers the phone.
I will.
Okay, so looking at the other houses that we've got on the list, the only other thing, as I say, I don't do the old horror thing, is Walking Dead. I have watched The Walking Dead, and I do know that there's a normal attraction in the park anyway. But what's this like?
So yeah, this is the attraction that's open year round. They actually have a year-round haunt open during regular business hours of The Walking Dead. And so this is the same thing. And yeah, this is, again, it's not really based on anything in particular. I mean, maybe it is, I don't know. But it just seems to capture walking through scenes that are a little iconic. One thing I find about this attraction when I go through it during regular park hours is the amount of parents that bring small children through this attraction
Really?
is astounding. Yes. Like, I'm all for pushing boundaries and having fun, but I'm talking like 4-year-old kids that are probably going to be traumatized by walking through there because there's so many zombies reaching out and trying to grab you, and completely horrifying. I'm not sure why they do that, but either way, that's something that you can experience, and you can kind of test your boundaries there. Because I said this is open year round. You know, next time you're out here, you can see if you can face The Walking Dead, and I would love to come with you do this experience to to see how you do.
James, I think I'd need you to hold my hand because, as I've said, I am a wuss. And you do remember we once did a countdown of scary movies, and do you remember talking about Watcher in the Woods?
Yes, I love that movie.
The Bette Davis classic. I remember being in the cinema, aged 11, and a cat jumped out. Well, I nearly had an accident, and all my sherbet dib-dabs went all over the cinema floor.
Oh,
you
no.
need to come and hold my hand, my friend, if I'm going to go in the Walking Dead thing.
All right, I will hold your hand through it. We'll get through it together.
Okay, we're on. So the other ones, as I say, I'm not a big horror fan, so why don't you talk me a little bit through some of these other places that you could go and look at?
Sure. Well, they have Jordan Peele's Us, which was a film that came out this past year. That the premise of it is that every human being has a doppelganger that has to live underground, and the doppelgangers revolt and come out. That's pretty much the premise of it. Basically get to experience walking through the movie, and if you've seen the movie, it's very cool to experience that. So that's a fun one and a very popular maze as well. They also have Universal Monsters. Of course, the classic Monsters. Horror started at Universal Studios. And they did a whole Universal Monsters house last year featuring all of them. But this year they decided to do one that's Frankenstein versus the Wolfman. So it's just those two monsters kind of going at it, and you get to kind of walk through, that chaos. And that one's a lot of fun too. A lot of great set design, a lot of fun. And we have a little bit of 80s stuff. Obviously, you have the Ghostbusters thing here. Stranger Things is based in the 80s. And then they decided to do 2 80s movies, which, maybe younger audiences don't know, but definitely brought out some of the older horror fans, which are Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Creepshow. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is definitely a maze that I would suggest, if people are not sure that they're going to be too scared, because it's kind of, the movie is a goofy fun, and so is the maze. It's bright and colorful and just a little gross, not all the way.
But a lot of people do have issues with clowns.
Yeah, well then this one's going to be a rough one to get through if you have issues with clowns.
It is. I'm not kidding. There is even clowrophobia, which is the fear of clowns. So it's a medical condition. So I think a lot of people would maybe it could be used as therapy.
Yeah, it's like shock therapy. Just get through it.
You Californians, you all like this modern holistic way of healing things. Just
Sure.
Anyone who's suffering with this fear, just stick them all in there.
It sounds good to me. I'd like to see them go through it and see how it works out for them.
Fans claim that Disney's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad cures them of kidney stones.
Wow. Yeah. Can't say I've heard that one. Which Thunder Mountain?
I think it's the California one.
Wow. Well, it's probably because of the goat.
Yeah.
I don't know if the listeners are aware of the goat trick. Do you know about the goat trick?
I love the goat trick. I kept saying to my friend when we were in Paris, oh, we'll do the goat trick. And then I realised, no, you can't do it. We're in Paris.
No goat trick in Paris. No, that's a California goat.
Absolutely. We're digressing again. Killer clowns.
We are.
So there's lots of very cruel, evil, spooky-looking clowns then.
Yes, and if you've seen the film, they're kind of masks. That you don't really see their face. They're prosthetic mask, a lot of puppetry. So that's literally what's in the maze. It doesn't sort of look like the movie. It literally looks like the movie. It's almost like this movie was made to be a haunted house or haunted attraction. So it is a lot of fun. And you got to be careful because they will squirt you with water, and they have little water guns and, and stuff like that too. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh wow! Well, if it's a California evening, I'm sure most people would be grateful for that.
Yes, just cover your eyes and your ears, you're good. But other than that, yes, it's always really hot, especially in these houses. Even if it's cool outside, it gets really warm in there. I have a little mini fan that I just keep on me as I walk through these houses. We go to so many of them, and it gets so hot in there. I just keep the fan on, Little pro trick.
Oh, what about Holidays in Hell? What's that about?
Oh, that's a fun one. That's not based on anything. That's an original house. Essentially takes every single holiday from every month and makes it evil and creepy. And it goes through the entire year. And that one is a lot of fun.
That sounds something that I would enjoy, I must admit, turning each festival into something spooky.
Yep, yeah, literally even the ones that are like, I guess there's no holiday in America in August. I think it's the only month. But every other month there's something.
So they have a really horrible, bloodthirsty Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Cupid gets a little messy there. I think probably the one that stands out to me is Thanksgiving, as turkeys are eating a human, a bear, or sitting around a table of a cooked human. So that's fun.
It sounds to me that the level of horror is taken to the point where it is so extreme it's funny.
Oh yeah, there's nothing really, in my opinion, that you can take too seriously. It's just absurd, for sure.
So, from experience, as you say, you've been there quite a lot. For a visitor that's coming, would one night be sufficient to be able to see everything, or would you recommend a couple of nights, or is there like a fast pass system where you can pay a bit more to see things a bit quicker?
Yes, good question. So you're going to Horror Nights, and if you only have one night to do it, you got to go express. It's expensive add-on, but these lines are crazy. If you go regular standby, you can end up waiting 2, maybe even 3 hours for some of the popular mazes. And then you're not going to be able to get through everything. It's definitely worth it to pay the extra for Express. And I'd say that's good for either Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood or Orlando.
My friend Anthony's just come back from the Orlando version. He's just recently been chatting to me about it. And I think he got into the queue for Stranger Things at about 10 to 2 in the morning, and he left about 3:30 in the morning.
Wow, so they didn't cut off the line. Wow.
I think the line got cut off at 2 o'clock.
Wow, they stay open so late because it's supposed to end at 2,
yeah.
But they just cut the line at 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think he got through 3.
He did 3. Wow. Yeah, that's gone to these events without Express, and you just can't see everything. If you're content with that, that's okay. But there's tips to navigate around as well, even without Express. Getting there early, starting at the back of the park because everyone's doing it the first things first. So just go as far back as you can, start there, and then work your way back, and the lines won't be as bad. So there's little tips around there. You can hit me up and ask me on social media, and I'll help you if you're going.
I suppose it's like everything. If you have a game plan and a strategy before you hit the park, you're going to get the most out of it.
Exactly, yeah. Disney Park fans know how to navigate around without...
Hey, you know me and my spreadsheets.
Yep, exactly. So there's lots there's lots of resources online of people that help, like with Horror Nights particularly, kind of navigating around.
Now, I'm a bit of a foodie, James. Is there any particular Halloween-esque food available during this time for me to go and try?
Yeah, Universal is very big on their limited edition foods, no matter what holiday it is, Halloween or Christmas, which is which you should be out here for, so that's something to talk about. But they had food themed to Stranger Things and also Ghostbusters.
Wow.
What did I eat? I'm trying to remember. I didn't have too much. I was with Roxy when we went, and she got it was a sandwich named after Zool, the demon from Ghostbusters. And it was like an egg sandwich. I wasn't quite sure what that was all about, but she gave me a bite of it, and I was hungry, so it was good. But I didn't try too many of the foods this round. I don't really remember why. Maybe I ate beforehand. I don't know. But they have tons of food that's only available at Horror Nights. Definitely bring your appetite. Unlike me, I guess. But
anything else you would recommend about visiting Universal during the Halloween period?
I would say get there early. Get in line early before they let you in. Get express if you can, and just be patient and bring your walking shoes because they're going to be doing a lot of walking. Horror Nights in Hollywood is split up into 3 different areas that are nowhere near each other, because the thing that we didn't mention here is that Universal Studios Hollywood is a working movie studio. They're actually filming movies and TV shows there, and they kind of just jammed in a little bit of theme park around it and expanded it over the years. So in order to accommodate Horror Nights, they have 3 completely different areas, actually 4 now that this year, 4 different areas that are not near each other at all. It takes a lot of walking to get to. So definitely wear comfortable shoes.
That all sounds like really good top tips for you if you're planning a trip to go out. A little bit too late for this year, obviously, but we wanted to bring you a flavour of Halloween over in Universal Hollywood so you can get planning for your 2020 trip. Now, seems I've got James here, and we've been talking quite a bit about Universal Hollywood, and it seems that I'm going to be in California over Christmas. It kind of would be nice if I could go. So I've been to Universal in Orlando. What's the 2 main differences you'd say between the 2 parks?
Okay, well, the first, as I just said, is this is an actual working movie studio. So it's theme park second. So it's not as big as Orlando. It's also not as immersive as Orlando because the real world intrudes all around there. For example, they have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Hollywood, Hogsmeade, just like they do at Islands of Adventure. The real world, the Muggle world is in plain sight. There's as opposed to Orlando where you're completely immersed. That's just a little bit of a different flavor there. The other and part of being a working studio, and the thing that is there is they have the studio backlot tram tour, which is that's really why people want to go there, is to go on this tram tour and walk and drive through classic Hollywood sets. They also have a few attraction type things worked into it that are part of attractions at Universal Orlando, such as King Kong 360 and the Fast and the Furious supercharged attractions at Orlando. Those are part of the tram tour. It's about an hour, but and also the classic encounter with your childhood favorite Jaws is still there. And you get to also just drive by different sets, and the tour guides are usually very funny and informative, and sometimes you go different routes, sometimes you go different ways. So it's never exactly the same experience, which is always a fun thing of going. I always try to hop on the studio tram tour every time I go there, whether it be if I'm there just for fun or I'm there to cover a media event. I always try to get in there just to see what's different, this time around.
So when you're thinking about visiting and travelling, as a British person like myself, again, is it a park that you could do in one day, or would you recommend a couple of days?
I would say this is a one-day park. Number one, if you visit Orlando, there's a number of attractions that are in Orlando that are exactly the same. So the ones you're going to want to hit up that are Hollywood exclusive are the newest attraction just opened up this summer, which is Jurassic World. And then they also have Kung Fu Panda theater show, which is very impressive, whether you're a Kung Fu Panda fan or not. The projection mapping is at the top of its game in that attraction. It's a lot of fun. What else is there? They have Waterworld, which again, not too many people are excited about the movie Waterworld, but they have a Waterworld show, which is one of the most spectacular stunt shows anywhere. It's a lot of fun to watch that show. So, I think you get there when it opens, you could definitely hit up everything that you need to do in one day, even without Express. Again, their Express is an upcharge. It's not complimentary as a Disney, but I don't particularly think that you need it unless you haven't been to any Universal Park forever and you want to hit up every attraction there. Then you might want to look into Express if you're going on a busy day. Another great thing that's only in Hollywood is they have Transformers meet and greet.
Ooh.
They have the Transformers ride that's in Orlando, but the meet and greet about Hollywood that's different from Orlando is that the characters talk to you, particularly Megatron, who is pretty much trolling everyone that comes up to him. If you just stand there and watch him, he's absolutely hilarious. And if you haven't seen this, even just searching on YouTube, he is whoever does that one. It's it's pretty funny.
It sounds awesome. Okay, my lovely.
So I think it's a one day. And one last thing to say. So you're going to be coming during the holidays, and you're going to be coming during their annual Grinchmas celebration. So the town of Whoville takes over the top level of Universal, and they have stage shows, Grinch meet and greet, all these Grinch snacks and all this kind of stuff. I love going there during Grinchmas and visiting my old pal the Grinch every year.
Well, it sounds like me and you have got a plan for our trip this year then, my lovely.
Oh boy, can't wait. And then we're going to go to Walking Dead. We're going to get Christmas cookies and go right to Walking Dead because they're right next to each other.
and then I think I'm going to go for a long lie down to recover. James, it's been an absolute pleasure. Please give yourself a shout out where people can find you on social media.
Sure, yeah. So on everything, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, it's Creepy Kingdom. We cover everything that's spooky. We have articles, reviews. We have a YouTube channel. And, of course, we have podcasts. We have several different shows on our podcast network, which we have a haunt show, theme park show, movie show. So if you like spooky stuff, Halloween time or year-round, Creepy Kingdom's here for you.
I love a little bit of creepiness in my life, and we need to do this a little bit more often, my friend. It's been too long since we've had a little chat, whether it was through Minxmas or whether it's been through a normal show or me being over on Creepy Kingdom. We need to do this again.
For sure. Yeah, I think we were doing it a lot more often when I lived on the East Coast. Our time zones weren't so different.
Yeah, it's awkward because there is an 8-hour time difference, but we can manage it.
Yeah, we'll work it out. And I'd love to bring you back on the Creepy Kingdom show. We'll get that going. And anytime you want me to come on, or I'm sure Roxy will want to come on too. I know she was on your show once before, but we're always down to come around.
Awesome, my friend. Well, looking forward to speaking to you real soon.
Alrighty, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for having me on.